Exactly.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, Paul Woodhouse has just run his 100th half marathon! Now, Paul ran his very first half marathon back in 2017. So on the 17th of September at a run called the Reigate Run. Now, I'm reliably informed that back in 2017, the Reigate Run was an emergency services run at which the police, the fire brigade and the medical services all had a bit of a competition. And I'm delighted to say that the police won! Yay! And since that very first win in 2017, Paul has gone on, obviously, to run 100 half marathons. But before I talk just about his 100 half marathons, I do want to mention some of his other running as well to give you some context, because it's taken Paul quite a short amount of time to notch up those 100 half marathons, but actually at the same time he's also been running marathons and planning to sort of run roughly the same amount at the same sort of time, and he's on track at the moment for his 100th marathon by the end of this year. So not only has he done a bucket load of half marathons, but he's also been running marathons at the very same time. And on that topic, most of you will know that we like to turn everybody's journey to 100, whether it be half marathons or marathons, into a unique pin number. And Paul's unique pin number is 2472, 2472, which is the number of days that have elapsed since he ran that first run Reigate up until today, which is not a very long amount of time. In English language, that is 6 years, 9 months and 7 days, whilst running almost 100 marathons at the same time, which is pretty impressive. And within that half marathon CV, there's a lot of really impressive series of runs. So he's done a number of 4-in-4s, which we call quads, 4 half marathons in 4 days. There's some 6-in-6s in there, 7-in-7 I think, there's some 10-in-10s, and there's also a 14-in-7. So during this year's 12-in-12, we offered up a double down, which Paul was one of a very few number of people that took us up on that. So he ran 2 half marathons in a day, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, for 7 days straight. So 14-in-7, which is obviously how he's notched up those so quickly. But that's quite a thing to do. And no, 2 half marathons in a day is not a marathon. Just in case you're wondering, it is definitely 2 half marathons. Very different disciplines, very different ways of running, and actually very different challenges in lots of ways. I think perhaps running 2 half marathons in a day is more difficult because you stop for a while and then you have to do a second race. So, huge round of applause for Paul for all that epic running. And 80 of those half marathons have been done since 2022, in case you were wondering, which I know you will. So, we have obviously got some goodies to commemorate today and to congratulate you, Paul, on running. And actually, no, one more thing I do want to mention, and this is a statistic which we hardly ever talk about in any presentation, which is why I've saved it to almost the end. But one of the things that Paul does an awful lot of, as well as running, is marshalling. And actually, he doesn't just do it here, he marshals for other events. He is also a very accomplished scuba diver, so he teaches scuba diving, and he gives up an awful lot of his time for a whole host of voluntary things. So Paul has actually marshalled with us no fewer than 57 times. So quite often he will run and marshal, run, will just come and marshal. So a huge thank you, Paul. We've got to know him quite well over the years, and he's become a very good mate of mine actually now. So thank you for that, Paul. And again, round of applause for all of that voluntary work. So now on to the goodies. So we will start. I've got a whole pile of stuff for you, Paul, and it's not even all here either. So let's start with the Phoenix wings. So in the half marathon colours, in the orange and grey, we've got the Phoenix wings. A set of those for you, Paul. Next, I'll tell you, let's do the commemorative number. Woo! There's a little bit of a breeze, so I'll hand this over to you carefully, otherwise we'll be doing some more running. Right, loads of signatures on there, which you probably can't see, but just about everybody who's come along today has popped a little signature and a well wish on there, so that's one for you as well, Paul. have the 100 Half Marathon Club breadboard. Because everybody needs one of these, and all you have to do is run 100 half marathons to get one, or 100 marathons. There you go, Paul, one of those. That has been provided by Gavin. Where's Gavin? Over there. Thank you, Gavin.
Hey, Gavin.
Okay, let's go, before we move on to the main event, let's go for the baton. Are you ready for the handover, Paul?
I'm ready.
Assume the position, the 100 half marathon baton. A perfect handover.
Yay!
And a standing over that. You got enough hands?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Next we have, and this is to officially welcome you into the 100 Half Marathon Club, we have the 100 Half Marathon Club gold medal. You've actually got the box set, Paul. You've got the bronze for 25, the silver for 50, and a box set to go with that. So you won't need any hands for this, because, let me put that around your neck. There we go, one of those. Ooh, there we go. And finally, the main event. Time to introduce you to one of the world's most expensive running shirts. An awful lot of blood, sweat and tears goes into earning one of these, as lots of you standing behind the cameras know. And you ordered two, Paul. One says Woody on it, but as luck would have it, this one says Paul on it. So it is my very great honour to officially welcome you, trade up that on the road shirt for a full club colours shirt, and to welcome you into the 100 Half Marathon Club, Paul. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Woodhouse, 100 Half Marathon.
Just going to say a few words. Primarily just to thank all of you guys for the support, encouragement over my time running. I'm a great believer in community, hence in marshalling it's about giving back, saying what you enjoy and sharing experiences. I just want to thank all of you for being here today and just helping me along the journey. And as I say, especially thanks to Rick. Without you putting this all together, this organised this weekend, it's been absolutely amazing. I'm glad to call you all my friends.
Yay!